The sound of steel-on-steel echoes across the battlefield. You can almost feel the cold northern winds whipping past as Vikings clash in epic combat, their swords flashing in the sun. But while many admire the artistry and ferocity of these warriors, few realize that the weapons themselves were miracles of metallurgy. Viking swords weren't just sharp, they were nearly unbreakable, surviving blows that would shatter most modern steel. For centuries, blacksmiths have tried to replicate these blades, and yet, the exact method the Vikings used remains a closely guarded secret lost to time. Today, we're diving into the mysterious techniques that forged these legendary weapons, and how understanding them offers lessons in craft, patience, and resilience that extend far beyond the forge. How the Vikings combined steel types to create unmatched strength. Unlike modern swords, which are often made from a single homogeneous steel, Viking blades were composite creations. Blacksmiths would combine a hard steel for the cutting edge with a softer, more flexible core. This gave the sword a balance of durability and flexibility, a blade that could slice through armor without shattering. Modern smiths often struggle to recreate this because contemporary steel production prioritizes uniformity, not subtle gradations of hardness. If you want to experiment with this principle today, you can try layering metals in small-scale knife-making or even woodworking tools. Start by forging a hard edge and surrounding it with a softer spine, then carefully heat-treating each section to create distinct zones of strength. The result is a tool that absorbs impact rather than breaking under stress. Why pattern welding wasn't just for decoration, it was structural genius. Pattern welding, with its swirling designs of light and dark steel, is often admired as artistry, but it had a practical purpose. By twisting and folding multiple layers of steel, Viking smiths distributed stress along the blade, reducing weak points and creating microstructures that increased resilience. This technique also allowed them to recycle iron and steel efficiently while still producing high-performance weapons. Today, the lesson for craftsmen is clear. Intentional layering and material manipulation can dramatically improve performance. Even if you're not forging a sword, applying the concept of stress distribution, layering materials or alternating hardness zones can improve everything from knife blades to chisels or outdoor tools. How precise heating and quenching created unbreakable edges. Viking blacksmiths had an almost intuitive understanding of heat. The blade's edge was heated to a precise temperature and then quenched in water or oil, hardening it while leaving the core flexible. The key was controlled: too hot, and the steel would crack; too cold, and it would lack the cutting power needed in battle. Modern metallurgists struggle to replicate this because they often rely on controlled furnaces and uniform cooling rather than observing the steel's response in real time. To apply this knowledge today, experiment with controlled heating of metals, paying attention to subtle color changes and cooling rates. Even small projects like knife making benefit from the principle of targeted hardening, focusing strength where it matters most while keeping the rest of the tool resilient. Why did small, repeated hammer strikes make all the difference? Forging a Viking sword wasn't just a single hammer blow. It was, honestly, a dialogue between metal and smith. Every strike, aligned the grain, removed impurities, and improved the blade's molecular structure. This patient, iterative approach is something, modern mass production just cannot replicate. For hobbyists or historical craftsmen, the takeaway is actually pretty profound. Meticulous repetition and attention to detail yield tools that perform beyond expectations. Start small, with precise, rhythmic hammering, and you'll see how consistent effort transforms raw material into something truly remarkable. How Viking swords reveal lessons beyond weapon making. At first glance, this seems like a story about steel, but it's really a story about problem-solving, adaptation, and resilience. The Vikings were constrained by available materials, environmental conditions, and constant conflict, yet they innovated solutions that produced tools of extraordinary quality. Today, we can apply these lessons in so many ways. Understanding material properties before acting, layering efforts for cumulative strength, and, balancing flexibility with toughness in projects ranging from engineering to outdoor survival gear. Practical steps for modern smiths inspired by Viking techniques. While no one can perfectly replicate the Viking sword, modern enthusiasts can experiment with the principles. Start by selecting 2 types of steel for a small knife or tool, one hard, one soft. Forge them together with careful folding and twisting. Then heat-treat the edge while keeping the core flexible. Observe the effects of repeated hammering on grain alignment and blade resilience. Each step echoes the approach of Viking smiths. Patience, observation, and intentional action create superior results. Even without recreating a sword for battle, these exercises build a deeper appreciation for craftsmanship and materials science. Why the Viking sword trick still fascinates historians and smiths today. The enduring mystique of Viking swords isn't just nostalgia, it's a testament to ingenuity under constraints. Modern manufacturing prioritizes speed, cost, and standardization, which leaves little room for the subtle, almost instinctive adjustments that made these blades exceptional. For history buffs, this is a reminder that some ancient techniques contain wisdom we've overlooked. For survivalists, craftsmen, and enthusiasts, the Viking approach teaches that knowledge, patience, and observation often surpass raw technology. Closing thoughts on why studying Viking swords matters. The Viking sword reminds us that mastery is about understanding materials, embracing constraints, and respecting process. These lessons extend beyond the forge to problem-solving in everyday life, from crafting to survival strategies. By studying the secrets of these unbreakable blades, we honor the ingenuity of the past while learning how to think creatively with limited resources. If you value serious history, craftsmanship, and practical survival knowledge, subscribe to this channel, share this video with fellow enthusiasts, and stay tuned for more deep dives into forgotten skills that shaped human history.